it's a black mark in the history of Rhode Island, as far as I'm concerned. But it's that was an example of how my ancestors were treated in different ways throughout the history of what became Rhode Island. For those that aren't sure, that's the day the smoke shop raid, when 51 state troopers stormed my reservation and saw fit to throw people to the ground, arrest tribal members, and do what they did under order of Governor Kacheri because of an alleged illegal selling of cigarettes on the reservation.
That day is a day never to be forgotten. I don't think we can afford to forget it. It weighs heavily in the hearts of many Rhode Islanders, but even heavier in the hearts of all of our tribal members, especially my children who were also put to the ground while I was handcuffed.
Somebody looked outside and saw police and dogs coming in, and next thing we know, all these people that were inside were undercover. They were state police people. There was a media person there, and one man, I don't know what his role was, but he was so-called enemy. I mean, I was probably paying his wages because I'm a taxpayer, my family's taxpayers.
Yeah,
and he slammed me up to the inner frame of this particular door here. And my son is saying, "Don't hurt my mom, don't hurt my mom." And two women pulled me down to the end of the counter, and he's saying, "Just don't hurt my mom, don't hurt my mom."
And it was just complete mayhem. It was, we had no idea that anything like that would have happened. 52 police officers, special units, armored vehicles, dogs, rocket-propelled stuff. It was all in the mix here over taxes on cigarettes. I mean,
why do you think the state came down so hard on the Narragansett people for that one?
It's kind of feel like they just wanted to beat us up and say, we don't want you to do that, don't do it, and if you do, we're going to come in and kick your butt. And that's kind of how I feel. It was...
You think they would have treated me the same way if I opened up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
I remember, and I always remember, I was up at administration doing some business and at tribal council chambers, and the chief was up there, and suddenly we got word that the state police were, there was a number of cruisers down the road, and we knew there was disagreement with the smoke shop, and the governor and the tribe chief had been in negotiations and whatever. We knew there was disagreement, but when we got a call that there was whatever, several dozen cars and a number of troopers gathered up down the road, we didn't know what was going on, but the chief and I figured we'd come down here just to be here.
And Governor Kacheri probably comes from a gang of mafia from over in Italy, decided in his wisdom that he would lie to the chief and say, "Yes, I'm going to get a federal order." And the chief called me on the phone. He said, "If they come in with a federal order, do not argue, do not fight, do not yell. Immediately close down the shop." I said, "Yes, chief, I will do that." This was less than 20 minutes before all hell broke loose.
I was standing not far from here, and we confronted one another, one of the troopers and myself, and I was just standing there, and I did whatever came to mind at the time. I didn't push, I just stood there and tried to hold my ground, and more or less I was walked into, but it wasn't, at that time, that wasn't that big of a confrontation physically. I was later arrested, thrown to the ground and all, but there was no... We didn't know what. I know I didn't anyways. I can speak for myself. I didn't know what was going to happen that day.
I saw Bella on the ground with state troopers holding her down. Unbelievable. I saw John Brown, who just walked up saying, "What's happening? What's happening?" I saw them slam him down. I saw a dog bite Hiawatha on his ear. I saw them trying to arrest our tribal police on our land. I saw women crying, children crying. I saw old people crying and saying, "What's going on? What's happening?"
It's like a $500 fine for selling the cigarettes tax-free. if they wanted to close down, they could have came in, handed a warrant or something saying, you know, close, cease and desist, close down, and giving it to the chief's agent, giving it to our tribal police. Instead, they wanted to show force. They wanted to show the Governor Kacheri used the Rhode Island State Police Force like a military force to come in here and attack and beat up and intimidate, or attempt to intimidate the Narragansett Indian tribe.
I don't think they really truly had me down spiritually. They had my shell down, and that's fine. That's what they have to live with. That's not my anger. It does not belong to me. That belongs to the man who made that call. But I will not hold his anger inside of me, nor will I share it or pass it down to my children or to my people.
It's another day, but from that we grow. Hopefully Rhode Island grows into being, well, maybe the government officials, better people, better understanding and respect for my people, my culture and traditions, the Narragansett people. Everyone in general has to have a better respect and understanding of one another. Doesn't mean we're always going to get along, but that use of force, that kind of power, for the sake of what happened that day, will never be justified in my mind. It didn't have to be done that way, and there has to be better ways to work together. 11 years later, we're still remembering that event. 11 years later, there's still a lot to be desired for the state of Rhode Island, relationship that political people have, and my tribe. But we'll move forward as a people, as an effort to try and get along together. If that comes during my lifetime, then great. If not, I have kids that will carry on in that stead. And we're here. We're not going anywhere. My people have always been here and will continue to be so.